Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And please be seated, if you're not seated already. This is the Men's Club Friday night service, and we are the Men's Club, or a portion thereof. We're going to be starting the service with a Hasidic nigun, a prayer without words, if you will, that I have a little bit of a personal story on. I came to Israel with my family in 1968 and sort of got plopped into a Hebrew-speaking Israeli school. But the kids were very nice. And I remember it was a very small school. It was a small class. So they actually took the whole school, if you can believe it or not, to see a show in Tel Aviv, which they thought would be culturally beneficial to us. It was called Ish Hasid Haya, Once There Was a Hasid. It's a very interesting show. Secular Israelis in street dress, performed on a very simple stage with a few sticks of furniture, presented stories of the Hasidim and songs. Now I remember my friend Yossi Bloom was next to me and tried to translate on an ongoing basis into English and very easy Hebrew. And we were getting shushed all the time, but he would turn around and say, "Hey, give him a break, he's a new immigrant. He doesn't understand." So for Ish Hasid Haya, we're going to be doing Aida. And please join in if you know it. Now that was just preliminary. Now we're going to invite Mike up for the official welcome.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Some announcements. You've heard these before. Hopefully, you'll take them to heart. First of all, welcome to Beth Shalom Temple Center. Please turn off your cell phones or place them in the vibrate mode. The restrooms are located in the rear. Fire extinguishers are located by the rear exit door and in the kitchen in the back. In the event of fire, everyone is to exit the door at the rear of the sanctuary, moving to the clearing on the north side of the building. The AED defibrillator is located behind you on the wall next to the prayer book shelves. First aid and blood control kits are clearly marked, located on the bima here, in the kitchen, in the library. The front double doors, which you entered through, are also the normal exit doors. All other marked exit doors are for emergency exit only. If the power goes out, emergency lighting should immediately turn on for your safety. You will receive further instructions from temple leadership. In the event of a potentially life-threatening situation, you may be directed to move into our kitchen in the rear. It may serve as our safe room in certain emergency situations. The outer and inner entrance doors will be locked once services have begun. If you need to leave after the service has begun, please see our security officer, security person near the foyer door, and I think that's Josh McDowell in the back there, if you need to leave. And he will let you in through the double doors that you entered through. Are there any guests, new members here? I think we know Amy and Keith by now, so welcome back again. And Chuck and Barbara, they're, I think, officially members now. All right. They're part-time residents here, also live in Chicago. Okay. A few key announcements about programs coming up. Let's see, we are here at the 20. Tomorrow morning, we will have Torah study on Zoom at 10 o'clock. This Thursday, Social Action Committee will be meeting at 10:30. Next Saturday, the 29th, will be Torah study on Zoom. On March 31st, I want to tell you about something. We have a program going on right now. There's some flyers outside regarding an event we're going to be having at Texas Roadhouse Restaurant. And all you have to do, it's up there on the south side of Tucson, on the Monday night, March 31st, bring one of these little certificates, and 10% of the proceeds of our dinners will come back to the temple as a fundraiser. It's something that our member Bobby Vishner set up. So if you'd like, you can go with a group or you can go on your own. All you have to do is make sure you have these certificates anytime between 3 p.m. and I believe 9 p.m. in the evening. That next Monday is also the deadline for the Passover Seder, which will be held on April 13th at the Desert Diamond Conference Center at 5 o'clock. So you need to get your reservation in. There's forms out there on the table. Let me see. We have book club is happening on Wednesday, April 2nd. And next Friday night service will be Friday, April 4th at 7 p.m. Thank you. Yes?
Also on March 31st is our board meeting.
Yes, thank you. All members are invited and encouraged to come to the board meeting here. It starts at 10 o'clock, and that way you have a chance to find out what's going on in the temple, have a chance to make some comments if you'd like, and just be a part of the temple. So, thank you. Thanks, Ricky.
Okay, and of course, bear with us because you know we're not professionals. We don't do this for a living. And we are going to try to stay on the ball, though, and give you page numbers. When we give page numbers, they are the bracketed page numbers in the sitter. We're going to continue now with the lighting of the Shabbat candles, and I'd like to invite Bev Lake up to do the honors.
What page?
Oh, I already forgot to get the page number. Okay. It is page 120.
Fan is maybe blue high. It's gonna blow it's gonna blow the fire out.
Wes is going to take care of it.
Got you.
It's the fan still. Just give me a second.
Slow down.
Baruch atah Adonai,
Asher yishanu mitzvotav, v'tzivanu, le'adlikner, Thank you, Bev. I'd like to share a poem about the lighting of the Shabbat candles. This was written by poet Philip Max Ruskin, who was born in Russia in 1880, died in New York in 1944, wrote poems both in English and Yiddish. And actually, I came across this poem in the annotated Siddur of Hertz, of Rabbi Hertz, who was the chief rabbi of the British Empire. So, and I came across it actually at the White Elephant. So you have to check out the White Elephant. Sometimes you can find interesting things. And in the religious section, maybe, once or twice a month, you can find something Jewish too. From memory spring flows a vision tonight. My mother is kindling and blessing the light. The light of Queen Sabbath, the heavenly flame, that one day in 7 quells hunger and shame. My mother is praying and screening her face, too bashful to gaze at the Sabbath light's grace. She murmurs devoutly, Almighty be blessed, for sending thy angel of joy and of rest. And may as the candles of Sabbath divine, the eyes of my son in thy law ever shine. O childhood, fair childhood, the years are long fled. Youth's candles are quenched, and my mother is dead. And yet every Friday, when twilight arrives, the face of my mother within me revives. A prayer on her lips, O Almighty be blessed, for sending us Sabbath, the angel of rest. In some hidden feeling I cannot control, a Sabbath light kindles deep, deep in my soul. Oh, please turn to page 128, where you'll find the very familiar Hine Matov, the words of which are Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. This is what is good and what is pleasant. Friends and brothers and sisters all together. Nope. You give us an intro. And thank you, Michael, for your extraordinary improvisational skills, because when I'm playing the violin, you never know what I'm going to do. It's a little unplanned. Next we have Lecha Dodi, which is page 138. Lecha Dodi, which of course is a prayer that originated among the Kabbalists of Tzfat to welcome the Shabbat bride as if she were a bride, a person. So it's 138, Lecha Dodi. Oh, I give a little intro.
Yeah, tell them the verses.
Oh, yeah, the verses, okay. The Chadodi, we traditionally in this congregation, we do verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, rising and turning towards the door to welcome Shabbat, and verse 9. I am now going to invite up David White, who will be leading us on the Chatzit Kaddish on page 144, going into the Baruch Hu on page 146 in the Shema, 152, and V'ahavta on page 154. So we've settled David with a lot of responsibility here, but we believe he can handle it.
Iskadavish Kadashim He Rabba, Rabba Givra Kirutei Yamot Palchei,
Chon Mechon, Chol Bechol Beit Yisrael, Bagolov is my Kareed, Bimru, Amen, Yehei Shmei Rabba Mekorah, Lilam Omayo, Yisbarak, Vishtabak, Vispara, Visraman, Visvasai, Vishardar, Visala, Visalal, Shmei Kucha, Brichu, Leila Min Kabra Kacha, Visharata, Tushbekota, Venechabata, Damiram, Biyama, Vimru, Amen. Okay. Please rise.
Please rise for the Baruch.
Baruch et Adonai Hamborah. Baruch
Adonai Eloheinu
Olam V'Olam.
Baruch Adonai Morah, Leolam Ha'ed. We continue now with the Shema, page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kadosh Malkuto, Hafta 8 Adonai Eloheinu, V'chol V'chol L'chachal Modecha, V'chayu Hadorim Cha'el Hasher Ani, Metzchai Chayemal L'bovecha, V'shinantom L'vonecha, V'devarta Bom B'shcha, V'teitetecha, U'mlettecha, V'derech Mishkahal U'karodnach, V'shtartim La'ot Al Yodecha, V'chayu L'tovet Bein Enecha, V'katatom Al Mezuzos B'chein, V'frishorecha, L'man Tizkaru V'yasitem Et Kol Mizmoa V'chayim Kadosh, L'chalochem ein Adonai Elohechem asher hotzati echad me'or mizmor lichot l'chol elam ani Adonai Elohechem. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments, and be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohechem Emet.
Now please turn to the Mi Kamocha. It's on page 158. I'm going to give you a little violin intro for that. You can stay up here and kind of lead it if you want.
Where you going?
מלכותך ראובנך ברכי הים לפני משה צליאנו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא תהילות עושי פלא נורא תהילות עושי פלא ונאמר כי פדה את יעקב וגאלו מיד chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai Goal Yisrael. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot, osei felem, Nora tehilot, osei felem. Thank you.
David, we're going to call up Arnie. And we are doing, yes, the show is on page 162. Next is the Amida, and we're going to invite up Kent Blumenthal and Dan Gowitz to lead us on that. The ark will be open. Please rise if you are comfortable doing so. We usually sing together through page 168, following which the ark is closed. And the congregation is invited to pray through page 177, either English or Hebrew, your own choice, or to engage in your own private meditations and prayers. And be seated as these conclude. During the silent portion, we are going to have a special treat tonight. Amy Sarasvati, and I hope I pronounced that name correctly, is going to be providing some very appropriate accompaniment.
Again, it's on 164 in the brackets. We begin. Adonai Shivata Tifata Upi Agidniti Techa. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imateinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'er HaGadol. Gadol HaGibor VaHaNorah Elyon Gomer HaSadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher HaSe'avot V'Imahot V'Miti Goel B'nei B'neihem L'man Shemo V'Ahava Melech Ozer Moshiach Malkin Baruch Atah Adonai Malkein Abraham Yitzhak Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai V'Chayei HaKol Atah Rav Lo Mashiach Ruach U'Medinah Hashem Mechakel Chayim B'Chesed Mechayev Hakol B'Rachamim Rabim So make no clean B'Rfei Cholim U'Matir Asurim U'Mekayem Emunato L'Shenei Alpha Michamocha B'Gevurot U'Midom Melach Melech Memit U'Chayei U'Matziach Yeshua V'Neman Atah L'Chagro L'Chol Baruch Atah Adonai Mechayei HaKol.
The art will now be closed. Please engage in your own private prayers.
Please turn to page 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Disturb us, Adonai, ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual of humans. Shock us, Adonai, deny us the false Shabbat, which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad courtesies are rendered by half-forgotten melodies and the rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch atah Adonai, v'kadesh HaShabbat.
Okay, thank you, Dan. We'll be continuing with Oseh Shalom B'Molav, which is on page 180. And this is quite familiar to many of us. Oseh Shalom B'Molav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, V'Yal Yisrael, V'Yal Kol B'nei Tevet, B'Mol Haneim. He who makes peace in the heavens will make peace on earth for Israel and for all peoples. And let's say Amen. Oseh Shalom is on page 180. I invite Mike Finkelstein to lead us on this. I'll be doing a little intro on it. At this point, of course, we're all together. We're enjoying, celebrating Shabbat together. But we mustn't forget that our Israeli brothers, some of our Israeli brothers, are enduring unimaginable hardships in Gaza. And I'm speaking, of course, of the hostages. They're probably at this moment sitting in the dark in very difficult conditions, just praying and hoping to see their families again. I'd like to say a prayer for the hostages. This is a prayer that was shared by Rabbi Ephraim Mervis, who is the chief rabbi of the British Commonwealth. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, יוסף, משה ואהרון, דוד ושלמה, הוא יברך וישמור וינצור את השבויים בעזה. The one who blessed our forefathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Yosef, Moshe, Aaron, David, and Shlomo, may they bless and safeguard and preserve the captives in Gaza. בטוב שעה אחינו בית ישראל הנתונים בצרה ובשבייה, and also among their brethren in the house of Israel who are in trouble and in captivity. בעבור שהקהל מתפלל עבורם, הקדוש ברוך הוא מלא רחמים עליהם ויוציאם מחושך וצלמוות, ומוסרותיהם ינתק וממצוקותיהם יושיעם, וישיבם מהרה להחליק משפחותיהם. In the merit of the prayers of this congregation who pray for them, may the Blessed Holy One shower compassion over them and deliver them from darkness and strife, remove their bondage, deliver them from their afflictions, and return them speedily to their families. It is a very tough time for the entire state of Israel. So, of course, we'd like to say a prayer for them as well. The prayer for the state of Israel is on page 377. Please read along with me the bottom paragraph in English. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. At difficult times, Rabbi Nachman of Bratslav had a famous saying, Kol ha'olam kulo gesher tzar me'od v'ha'ikar lo lefached klal. The whole world is like a narrow bridge over a narrow chasm. And the most important thing is to not be afraid and keep going. If you want to sing along with me, Kol Ha'olam Kulo is on page 643. I'm going to be playing the melody on the violin first. It's on the second paragraph there, page 643. Kol Ha'olam Kulo. Kol ha'olam kulo, gesher tzar me'od, gesher tzar me'od, gesher tzar me'od. Kol ha'olam kulo, gesher tzar me'od, You can put your sitters aside for a minute. The parashah this week is entitled B'Yakhel. B'Yakhel. And those of you who know me a little bit probably know that I'm a little bit enamored with the Hebrew language to a fault. I can be a little bit of a nutnik about it, you know. So, and I think at least part of it is because it's such a logical and concise language. So many words, verbs, adjectives, nouns are based on a 3-letter root. It's almost always 3 letters. It's like mathematics, almost. So B'Yakhel is translated as he gathered. And this parashah deals with the early construction of the Mishkan, of the tent of meeting, in which Moses first gathered all the people together, and it was very much a community enterprise. They all brought donations, kind of like what happens at the temple today, hopefully happens at the temple. And that the root here is Kuf Hey Lamed. Kuf Hey Lamed, which really means it's not just gathering, it's really a gathering of people. So it can be a congregation, which is Kihilat Kodesh. It can be a community, Kehillah. It can be an audience, Kahal. And the person in charge of the organizing the building of the Mishkan was a man by the name of Bezalel. There is actually an art institute in Israel that's called Bezalel. He was said to have a wise heart, which is, the way the rabbis explained that was that he was not only an artist, but he was very skilled otherwise in the logistics, in the planning, because there was a lot of planning. He wasn't only an architect, he was also an interior decorator. Now we're going to focus here just on, I picked out one sentence from the Parshah that the rabbis had a little bit of fun with. Okay, they decided that there was sort of a hidden story behind the story. So here's the sentence, I'll just read it off in Hebrew to show off a little bit, okay? V'ya'as et ha'kiyot nechoshet ve'et kano nechoshet ve'mar'ot ha'tzol'ot asher tzavu petach oel ha'moed. And I'll just have to translate that gradually because some of the words are a little bit obscure. But basically, it mentions that mirrors were brought. And who brought these mirrors? as donations, Hatzov Ot. Now, tzava is an army in Hebrew. And so Ot is a noun in the feminine form. So the rabbis assumed that this was like an army of women who showed up at the Mishkan in front of Moses and said, hey, Moses, here are our donations. We want to give these mirrors. And according to the rabbis, Moses was a little bit unsure. As we know, Moses had a very good working relationship with God. If he had questions or concerns, he brought it up. So he said, well, God, do you really want this particular donation? Do you want these mirrors? And God said, well, what's the problem with the mirrors? Moses said, well, you know, it's from the women. So they kind of look at themselves in the mirror and they smile, and then they apply that heavy eye makeup that they learned to do in Egypt, and maybe lipstick and rouge. And, you know, was that really entirely appropriate for part of the ritual of the Mishkan? To which God answered, Moses, 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 Moses. You know, so they want to look a little good when they bring lunch to their men who were out. When they were slaves, they were working very hard. They would get brought lunch. And the ladies would be a little dressed up and look nice. So what's wrong with that? So God, this is God saying so. Moses conceded, but they sort of had a compromise, because it was decided that these copper mirrors would not actually be used in the ritual itself. They would be used for, in Hebrew it's kiyor. In modern Hebrew, that's a sink. So they were used for the ablutions that the priests would have to do before entering the Mishkan. So there you have it. A little lesson, a little nugget from the Parsha. Shabbat Shalom. We're now going to do the Misha Berach, which of course is our prayer for healing of those afflicted in mind, in body. And please, just keeping to yourself whoever you would like to send those prayers to. Harry's going to be doing the vocal on this. It's on page 371.
In the brackets.
In the brackets, yeah. And, I think I'm going to give you a little intro on that too, okay? Okay. So let me give you a little intro on it. Is the source of strength, who was strong before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. We shall bear immortality, I'm now going to invite up Josh Nadal, who has been protecting us throughout, as I show there. The Aleno is on page 586. It starts the middle of the page.
Oh, you got it there?
So it's 586. עלינו לשבח לדור הכל, לתת גדולה יוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא עשנו את משפחות האדמה, שלא שחקנו כהם, וגואל עלינו ככל המונם, אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא כשמיים ועושה הארץ, ומשריקה בשמיים מלאה, ושכינת עוזו בגודל מרומים. ואלוהינו אלוקינו ופסולתו, כל כתוב בתורתו, בדעת היום ישב אותה לברכך, כי אלוהי הוא אלוהים בשמיים ממעל, בארץ מאיפת ונאמר להי למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמעו Please be seated. I'm going to invite Warren to read the website list.
Yes, I'm going to do the little reading first. Okay, I guess I'll do this. And I'm going to do a reading first, and then we'll do the website list. Why should I wish to see God? Am I in the right place? Here a second. I'm not sure if I'm in the right place. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Why should I wish to see God better than this day? I see something of God in each hour of the 24, and each moment then. In the faces of men and women I see God. In my own face in the glass, I find letters from God dropped in the street, and every one is signed by God's name, and I leave them where they are, for I know that wherever I go, others will punctually come forever and ever. Those we are remembering in the past month or so, Eldon Clark, Joanne Ruth Stickle. And those we're remembering in the past year, Gloria Clancy, Susie Cook, Margaret Wilson Clark, Billy H. Kahn, Grace Farrar, Dan Fine, Robert Fleming, Don Kramer, Dory Lessa,
Paul Levin, David Mednick, Marlis Reckhammer, Richard Sherman, Merle Sobel, Robert Spear, Stuart Tobin, David Wolfhard, Yehuda Lev Zimmelman. We mourn more than the 1,700 Israeli men, women, and children and soldiers who have been killed in the terrorist attacks and subsequent battles in Israel, Lebanon, and Gaza in the time since the terrorist attack of October 7th, 2023, as well as thousands of innocent civilians and bystanders who have been in harm's way during this most recent tragic war. At this season, Jack Atlas, Zelda Beam, Beverly Bender, William Clancy, Alfred Cohn, Phelan Cohn, Frank Farber, Hortense Feldman, Irving Feldman, Jane Marie Feldman, Joseph Fine, Susan Goldberg, Eunice Konikoff, Ted Rosen, Robert Sassner, Bessie Sirota, Helen Van de Wey, Max Weissman, and Rose Weinstein. We honor the memories of those of our people who perished in the Shoah and countless others whose names are unknown, for whom there is no one to recite the Kaddish. Please rise for the Kaddish if you're comfortable.
Are there any other names?
Are there any other names? Excuse me. Any other names to be honored?
Page 598. No. Page 598.
Page 598. Thank you. 598. Okay. Yisrael, Yisrael, Shemei Rabba, B'yamad Yirach Yirtei, B'yom Nichma Kutei, B'chayei Chon, B'yom Echon, B'chayei Beit Yisrael, B'agalah Yisrael, Yimru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Urach, B'elam Olei Maya, Yiftorach, Yishtabach, Yishtavar, Yifram, Yikasei, Yithagar, Yithaler, Yithalal, Shemei Yusha, Yichu, Le'elam Ninkol, B'gata, Pujata, Tushakata, Mehermata, Damiran, Yamad, Imru, Amen. Yehei Shlomo Rabba, Bin Shemai, B'chayim, B'leim, Yaakov, Yisrael, Yimru, Amen. Oseh Shalom, B'gonamah, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu Yaakov, Yisrael, Yimru, Amen.
Okay, thank you, Warden. Harry is now going to lead us in Shalom Aleichem, going into Haggadah Shalom Aleichem. It's on page 627. Well, we'd like to do our traditional Shabbat Shalom, so please sing it out with gusto. Here goes.
Shabbat shalom. 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 Shabbat
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd like to, what is this?
So I'm Arnie Crone, I'm president of the Brotherhood, Men's Club, excuse me, and we've been fighting about that name for a few years, but that's all right. So, and we want to thank Steve tremendously for his planning, for his leading of the service, and for his musical orchestration. And we had this lovely gift provided very nice, very thoughtfully by Donna White, I guess Dave too. So thank you very much.
Well, first of all, thank you, David and Donna. Very unexpected and very sweet, and you know. And of course, I want to thank Les Bucky for, as usual, being our guy Friday and setting everything up to the last detail. And there are a lot of details. And I also want to thank the showmare. Yeah, people are helping me here because I'm forgetful. Yeah. But thank you, Josh, for being our showmare, for taking care of us. And I'm just going to go down the list here. Okay, we have Mike Finkelstein to thank for his musical accommodations, and David White, Arnie Crone, who we have here, Kent Blumenthal, and Dan Roberts, and Harry. Thank you very much for all your help. Did I leave anyone out? Oh, yes. Yes. Thank you very much, Amy, for your beautiful and very appropriate background music. I think we might get spoiled and we might ask you to do it every time. Yeah, so please join us at the Onik table, where we will do Kiddush and Hamosi.
Thank you, Steve. Good job, Steve. Thank you, Steve.